Hello, everyone, and this is Kavita Kapoor Khalsa, certified facilitator with Access Consciousness and a body class, 3-day body class facilitator. And we're going to be talking about relationships, and that too fun. How would you know that relationships can be fun? Because they are not. They just begin with the hormonal attraction, and you feel it's fun. It makes you feel great, but at the end of it, it doesn't turn out to be that so much fun because it takes you into an emotional turmoil. It sucks you out, it drains you, and not just women, men also. So we're not saying that only women get drained. It's the other way around as well. So and all those people, there were 24 votes for fun in relationships who wanted to know so much about relationships who are not there on this call. So welcome to our world where people will think something, say something, and do something, and everything that you end up not being congruent with what you're asking, and your actions don't even match what you were thinking, or I mean so-called thinking. Of course we don't have to follow the thinking. What your ask is are you really genuinely congruent with it? Congruent is like, are you one with yourself when you're asking for something like, I'm asking for um a big bungalow to show up in, and but I want it in 2 months. So I either I have to pick up something which is already made, or if I would like to make my own thing, then you have to be a little real practical in this reality that it is going to probably take at least a year. You can't have it at the back, like just because you've asked for it, so you'll create it. Even thousands of laborers can work, and your house will not be ready. So, what are you really asking for? And where are you not willing to show up in your life for yourself when you're asking for it? So everything that doesn't allow you to be present with what you're asking for, will you let that go now and just run and create? Right, wrong, good, bad, for client shows, voice for there it comes. Pari was one of those who asked. I remember her. So anyway, so what are your conclusions in a relationship? What about what happens is we make a choice and then we are not able to sustain that choice, but we don't, and we somewhere halfway through or midway we realize this is the wrong choice. I mean, there are no choices that are wrong typically, because choices, you can't make your choices wrong, but we're so cute, we will. So we're like, okay, this is not working, this is not working, and then we go into conclusion. What if it was not about winning or losing, right? So what if you could use, you end up using your body also? Why is it that people get so frustrated in relationships? Is because your body is also involved in it. So it becomes very, you start locking up all the pain, trauma, lies, deceit, betrayal, everything in your body. So, and that becomes a conclusion. So, and we have our own standards of winning and losing. What doesn't count as categories for how to conclude is what is right for us. This is so right. This is how it has to be. And where have we learned what relationships look like? From our parents, from this society, as if they're doing any better in relationships. Are they doing any better? No. But you think, because you're the upgraded version in your own world, you feel that you can probably change it. Interesting point of view, but you don't have another input with you that would make it change. And all the conflict that you're carrying, because there is a lot of conflict locked up in your body, which is creating the fight. See, otherwise you can drop the fight. But if um you if you're hell-bent on proving that you are right and others are wrong, then you're doomed. Because the fact is that you're in a conflict with your own humanoid capacity. So can you please mute yourself, not unmute yourself? Anybody? Thank you. So, a fight can still change because you can choose to fight or not fight or give up the fight at any point. But if you have a conflict going on within you, you will not be able to change that. And conflict is necessary to create bad relationships, to have that ownership, to create wars, to create devastation, to create unhappiness, to create the difference, right? So if you would just ask, Okay, what is it that you're avoiding as patterns of this and creating patterns of disharmony and avoiding the intensity of joy? And who would you be if you gave this fight up or this conflict up? And people who who like conflict will never give up their conflict, because that is what determines how valuable they are in this reality. They become a valuable product because as long as they're doing conflict, they have someone or something to fight for, fight with, and who they can see as an enemy. And that is what the game goes on. It is a lot more entertaining. And how do you undo a conflict? Is only by coming into an allowance. What is allowance? Allowance is neither you're aligning or agreeing with the person, nor you're resisting or reacting to anything. You are also in conflict of your own receiving. So the idea you don't have enough of ease, joy, glory, time, whatever. Sorry? Someone also?
No.
Hello? So what's your secret agenda with people? I know I like the background noise that comes in between, but thank you so much for giving that thing. So what is your secret agenda with people or whoever that specific person is, and whatever that brings up that you are not able to change what you would like to change, and everywhere you're maintaining it, can you destroy and uncreate that? Right, wrong, good, bad, powerful, line, short, boys, boys, and nuance. Yes, Sumita.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Kavita.
do have a lot of points of view about relationships. Yes.
Yeah, like we want somewhere it is like validating ourselves because we don't want to be low and pull down where we feel that win-win situation cannot take place because they're pulling me down.
So see, everywhere you've decided
So
that others are pulling you down, and
yeah.
that are you functioning from a capacity which is called ego in this reality, or are you trying to prove yourself right, and that also comes from ego? Are you trying to win over a conflict or make yourself right and make others wrong that they are wrong? Then definitely you've made yourself a valuable product in this reality by proving yourself right. And that is where the relationships are only going to be bad. So
Mhm.
what have you made so vital, valuable, and real about trifold
Ego.
sequencing systems? And trifold sequencing system, because it keeps looping you back into the same reality as a source of what you cannot change, that keeps you from actualizing a totally different capacity of changing, or the ability to change anything and everything at will. Everything that is, will you destroy and uncreate it now?
Yes.
Right, wrong, good, bad, powerful, line, short, boys, provide, and beyond.
How do I change it then?
By asking all your traumatic events which occurred when you were a kid, how old are you being? What age are you being? Because some traumatic event would have triggered all those
Mhm.
things. And now anybody else kind of gives you that input, you're like, okay, I need to prove.
Mhm.
So everywhere you're trying to prove that you
True.
love or you don't love, or you need love, anything to do with proving capacities, you will have to give that up. Everywhere you're functioning from limitation that you
Yeah.
have to keep proving, which diminishes your being, and you're not creating a greater reality, will you destroy and create that?
Thank you, Kavita. You got it. Thanks.
Right, wrong, good, bad, perfect,
Yes.
line, short, burst, final.
More
Because
awareness.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what you're doing with your money. You're doing it with your body. You're doing it with your finances. You're doing it with your relationships. You're going back and looping it in the same way because our
Mm.
parents lived in a certain way. Very few people can say, hey, my parents really had a good relationship, right? And still, if you are going ahead and creating a bad relationship, you're really creative. Maybe you don't wish to be in a relationship and you're forcing yourself to be in one. So, in a relationship, what's the value of holding on to whatever you're holding on to? What is that block? What are you holding on to? Because in order to um, have that relationship, you literally dissipating your being so that you can keep that in place. Imagine how much force are you
Yes.
using against your body to have that relationship. To so you are trying to make people happy, and we're trying to say don't make anyone happy. because people love their misery more than they love happiness. The minute you make them feel miserable, they will, challenge you and go and try to prove that they are happy, which is great. But you want to make them feel so good about themselves. You want to make them happy, and they wouldn't get over their misery because you're trying to make them happy. So what's the value of holding on to this? Feel that energy and bring
Yeah.
it out. Bring it up. And where do you feel it in your body? And just bring it out and allow it to dissipate or pot and pork. That is one thing that you got to do.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, anybody would like to ask about relationships?
So,
Anybody?
Kavita,
Anything? Yeah.
Vandana here. So basically, over the years, there's this blanket thing created by society about fidelity in a relationship, right?
Hmm.
And it is like a given, and I think now that I'm doing access, I feel this is like huge electromagnetic or,
Yeah.
functioning in the whole relationship space.
Yeah. It's about monogamy that you're talking about, right?
Yes, monogamy and fidelity
Yeah.
in a marriage. So
Hmm.
my first marriage ended because of that.
Hmm.
And
My
then
mine ended too, but I was not in access.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
to
yeah, high five. Yes. Okay, we left those people because they couldn't value us for the factors we fucking did not value ourselves, and we
correct.
were seeking value from them, so it wasn't possible. But yeah, continue.
And now the whole point is that then two more relationships happened, and both the men cheated, and I I started devaluing myself. That why am I getting cheated, and why am I attracting this energy into my life? Correct.
Because you're first of all very cute because you are um, asking a question called why, which keeps you in the drama trauma and the similar trait because it keeps you as a victim. It keeps you as poor me situation.
Right.
When
So
you say why me, why me, why me, what if why is not a question to ask. Secondly, all the AI responses, see, artificial intelligence is what? It keeps you in an automatic response system so that you can't get out of it and it brings you back to the same original point where you started from. So, what we were trying to avoid is what we keep recreating. And a lot of PTSD that was locked in your body. So if there's a focal point, suppose you've gotten hurt, have you seen people where they get hurt and they keep getting hurt at the same point
yeah,
again and
like some
again and
people
again?
keep up physically abusive relationships. They keep attracting. That never happens to me.
Yeah,
So
but that's okay because you that way you honor your body little more maybe. That okay, nobody's gonna slap me or whatever. Yeah, physically abusive. Yeah, but mental and energetic abuses. What about that?
So
What
my
about the trauma
point
that
is
you
coming.
create for
So
yourself?
after access, I realized
Mhm.
this whole thing. This is just a big point of view that everybody must be fidelity and monogamy. It's a big point of view.
Yeah.
Now the interesting thing is, my daughter's of her age. She's 28, and I practice a chanting thing. Namyo Renge Kyo, and I've been chanting for her to find a partner who is faithful, and this. And I said, "Oh my God, I'm now transferring it to my daughter."
Yeah.
you know this and she doesn't believe in it. She says, Mom, monogamy is like outdated. There's nothing like that.
Yeah.
And I'm
Totally.
getting like, then how will you have a marriage?
Because
Because
if
marriage is
no,
monogamy.
because if we also know that we are an animal, we in order to live in a society, we need to keep the structure in place. That is why this was created. But having said that, sex and love has nothing to do with sex. Sex has nothing to do. No, love has nothing to do with sex. Sex has nothing to do with love. And these both things have nothing to do with relationship. And everywhere you made it so solid and significant. Okay, and that is what we were taught when we were growing up. We had 80s or 60s or 70s. That is the era that we were in that transition, era that we picked it up, and now we're like, okay, do you want to take this because we're carrying it? Would you like to take it? And the today generation, like, shut up, that's all dated. That's not for us. So okay, fine. What else is possible? What can you learn today from the newer generation?
Right.
What
Not
if you did
all,
not have to?
some people.
Yeah.
My daughter is a bit different, but I've seen a lot of kids who are getting married now who are of her age, and then the whole monogamy structure. So I'm just saying that, this is a whole, where money, everybody can have different points of view, but I find when it comes to relationships, they're like blanket points of views. Monogamy, fidelity,
Yes. And
man,
and and
woman.
you have to ask, is this really working for me today?
Yeah, no, that's why I've chosen not to be in a relationship, because
So now that is complete avoidance of a thing, right?
yes, that is
So how
also
is that working for you? It's like, okay, if money is not coming to me, I don't want money. It's like that.
right.
If you will not come, before you hurt me, I will hurt myself. Who the fuck are you to hurt me? But okay, now that's what we're doing. Everything that brought up for everyone. Before you can hurt me, I will hurt myself. I will not let anyone else hurt me. Right,
Right.
wrong, good, bad, purple, line, short, boys, boys, and peons. Right. So the idea of being three tips that I can give you today, tools rather, that tell people what they can hear, and that's a beautiful manipulation to be in a relationship, any relationship, not necessarily intimate relationships or physical relationships, but with people, that what are they willing to hear? What can they hear? Can they hear this? Okay, fine, then give it to them. Otherwise, don't.
Okay.
Right? And the other one is, if you have come, if you've already discussed and you've had a relationship, agree to disagree, and that's okay. Then you're not challenging the person every now and then and proving how right you are and how wrong they are.
Right.
Right? That gets easier. The other one is destroy and uncreate all your relationships every day of your life, with every moment, so that you're not carrying the baggage to the next day, to the next day. Like, for example, your first marriage, whatever happened, or whatever got created, is what you've been constantly carrying.
Right.
You're not, yes, you've not offloaded yourself with that baggage. So what if you could destroy and uncreate your relationship with yourself, with your business, with your work, with your money flows, with your body, with everything, just destroy and uncreate it.
That's a
So
good.
that you create space for something to show up every day.
So before going
Right?
to sleep, just say I destroy and create all my
Yes.
relationships
Yes.
with my money, my work, my finances, my relationship,
Totally.
my
Because
family.
what you were yesterday, you're not today, first of all. But you're still carrying certain things which are no longer working for you. Why do we say get your bars done? And that's fantastic in relationship, because any kind of funk that is going on, any kind of weird, cranky, that kind of thing, yuck, stuff, what the fuck is going on, get your bars done. Because all the electromagnetic charges of thought, feeling, emotion will melt away. And you have more space. And in that space, if you still feel that the same thing for that person, okay, fine, maybe it's not working for you.
Right.
So you can always ask, what would it take for this relationship to work for me?
Right.
And make a list. Okay, what that this, suppose you're painting a house, right? Or you're making a house, and you're like, yeah, this is kind of okay, I can do with anything, but this is specific, and I really want this particular pink or this particular red. This has to be there, otherwise not working. Now that you cannot compromise on that.
Right.
Do you get it? So you need to know what works and what doesn't work.
Right.
And if you have a discussion with your partner, and that's completely impossible and cruel to them, that they cannot change in them, then it's, like, even for Gary, he sat with it. He went for so many therapies, to a counselor, whatever, for his second marriage, and there's certain things that they were not supposed to be, and it was cruel to her to ask them to change, because that was very important to her. The only solution was divorce.
Right.
Sometimes you have to be open and willing to let it go, because there is no way that you can change things.
Correct.
If more, so if there is a list that you have, and if there are more than 5 things that cannot be changed, there's probably this relationship is not going to work.
Right.
Okay, so don't force it to work, because no, I will teach him a lesson, or I will teach her a lesson. That is not how things work. Correct.
True.
And then when you're asking a question, and this is not that you judge your partner. Please do not judge your partner. It's only to get an awareness what is possible and what is not possible.
Right.
Or you can't even do this. No, you're not here to judge them. And then ask questions. Okay, can I change this? If suppose if you want to make a relationship work, right? You ask a question. Can I can I change this? And if it is not possible, not possible, right?
Right.
So can I change this? How do I change this? Is another question that you ask, followed by, okay, so what can I do or be that will change this? And then allow the energies to guide you.
Thank you.
Okay, so somebody's asking a question about attraction that is pulling you, but one is trying hard not to be swayed. Now that depends. Is that person who acting hard not to be swayed you, or is that person somebody else? Like, you know, if you're trying to pull that person or attract that person and not getting attracted, it's a different thing. But if you are trying not to get pulled or attracted to somebody, what are you aware of is a question that you need to ask. People who are trying to really pull the strings and rope you in run away. There is a possibility they are coming from the previous life. They will slaughter you or traumatize you and they will run away after that, and then you'll be left alone. There is a possibility. So no matter how attractive or the magnetic, see, you get magnetic pulls to those people that you have been there, done that, known them, maybe not in this life and other life, and now they've suddenly come and popped up in front of you. So if there is an attraction going on, thank you so much. I know it's a trap and I'm not willing to get swayed. So if you're not allowing yourself to get swayed, fantastic. There is some awareness that is there, and you know that you're, you're aware of something. Yes, Sonia.
You said that if the partner is not ready to change, or any person in our life, any relationship it can be. So if that
Yeah,
opposite person, if our daughter, our son are not ready to change, okay.
No.
So, so you
And
said
you have,
comfortable changing ourselves. Was that
so
that
then,
you?
yeah, so you have to ask, then what is it that I can do to change if it is possible? And if it is absolutely not possible, then you have to tell them, like Gary told his son, that you need to leave the house. You cannot be here. If you need to stay, this is my house. I'm in total allowance of what you're doing, but this doesn't work here. It doesn't work with me. You need to leave now. So you need to know that what works and what doesn't work. And it's not about the allowance thing. You are absolutely in allowance of what they're doing. You're not stopping them from doing that. You're not trying to control them. But at the same time, you're not trying to be mean and nasty to yourself, right? That okay, I've
So
become
we are in allowance with their choices and with ourselves also, basically.
yeah. So certain things I'm not okay. I'm just not okay. There will come a time I'll make it okay, but right now, if I'm not okay, I need to honor that as well, right? Allowance does not mean you become a doormat. Like Gary was in absolute allowance of his son drinking and getting sloshed or acting weird in public or whatever. But he's like, I don't want this. I can't take this in my house. So you need to shift. And he did. He had to shift out.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. Yeah, it's a past life thing going on. Somebody's sending direct messages, you see. It's about messages. Yeah. So yes, it is a past life thing that is going on. And what are you aware of? Because it will trigger or it will stir you up to a level that you're like, okay, maybe not. Okay, let me see. The pull is there, but morality will, confuse you, because if you're already married, then you would not be able to kind of take it. If you're not married, then yeah. But the same thing. Ask yourself: is this a past life thing? I'm getting pulled, or the attraction, because see, love is not about getting attracted to someone. Okay, it's a 5 levels of intimacy that you need to have it for yourself. 5 levels of intimacy: honor, trust, gratitude, allowance, vulnerability. Do you have that with you? Okay. And if you, yeah, I mean, so if there is a morality thing coming in that I'm married and I'm getting attracted, well, first of all, it is okay to get attracted. There is nothing, there's no rocket science in it. But what works for you? Because see, cheating outside marriage or whatever, if it is honoring for you and your body, it's a different space to work from. But if you're saying, okay, it will end up being cheating on my partner or whatever, then you need to ask, am I ready to play with this fire? Because the fire can burn you down, burn the house down, burn everything down. You need to ask yourself, is this going to work for me? And whatever said and done, we are Asians, okay? We are Asians and we are Indians more on top of that. So if that is working, or if that that this is who you be, you don't have to force yourself to change it. And today's kids will probably have it easy, like how Vandana said that her daughter does not have that point of view, that monogamy kind of thing doesn't work. They're fine with open relationships. They're fine with. You need to say, are you okay with it? And having said that, I'm saying it because I did in my past play with fire. I got burnt. Like how? And it took me long time to kind of heal myself out of it. I'm not saying you don't do it. You could be smarter for sure. And you know how to kind of manage, you could be playing with fireballs and, you're fine with it. You're a different Marvel hero. Fine. I'm not making you wrong. But in Advanced Money Workbook, Gary very clearly says that he will never date a married woman. He just would not date a married woman. Why? There's no why. He just knows that, it doesn't work for him. Right? So ask a question, and that will give you the awareness what works and what doesn't.
But does that not become a point of view then? Like, it's a point of view.
But for today, only for today, what works for you? If you could ask 10 seconds increments and then, and live by that, and those 10 seconds could actually become 10 years, who cares? But if that's your point of view, that's your point of view. We're not saying your point of view is good or bad, right or wrong. If you did not have to judge.
And create all points of view as such in life.
Precisely. But then there will come a day that you have no charge on it. And then maybe you can ask again that am I still getting attracted, or someone getting attracted to me?
Right.
Today, ever since I've shared kilos, like a lot of, so there are people who are getting, pinging and, I can't say they're getting attracted, but yeah, they're pinging messages and everything. I'm like, okay, I am receiving that adoration that people are giving me. But to be honest, there is no attraction. The point of attraction does not come. The law also is failing as far as attraction is concerned. So my point is, it's probably not working because I am, years of access and processes and other modalities and therapies have reached me to a point where I am seeing myself as a valuable product, and I'm like, I'm the gorgeous one. I know I'm gorgeous, so your compliments are not going to affect me. Thank you, but I'll receive it. So it's not you will compliment me and I'll get swayed or flattered. No, because now flattery doesn't work.
Right.
Till the day, what am I looking for? I need to see that, right? And if I am joyful in my space, seeing that joy is what is going to invite and attract people to me. But does that mean I need to get into a transactional reality and give it back to them? Answer is no. I don't have to cater to them just because they're being nice to me. I simply tell people, you can take favors and say thank you so much. What if you did not have to pay in a different coin called your body? And that's where the foundation tools come in, right? There is this thing called sexual healers. It's an entire topic we discuss in relationships. That awareness really works. If you haven't thought of investing in a foundation class, please think about it because it's so beautifully explained. And you can get yourself out of it. There are few questions which will never fail you before choosing a relationship. There's 6 questions. So that's what I would say. That fun is you. You are fun. And if you're not there, then what is stopping you to be that energy of fun? Because what is a relationship? It is distance between two objects. As long as the two objects are relatable and they have a distance between them, it's kind of okay. There's no oneness in relationships. But oneness you can only have with yourself. If you are complete within and you are like one with yourself, everything works. So if one is changing and the other one doesn't, then also it gets snapped. What are you asking, truly desiring in a relationship? Ask for that. And can you allow yourself to have it also? Because as I said, started this call with the fact that are you congruent with your ask? You're asking for something, but you're saying something, doing something completely different. Are you there? Where are you? Right? So thank you. For anybody who has a question, we can address it, or we're kind of done for today. And also would like to announce there are lots of classes coming up, especially a retreat that is coming up around 15th March for 3 days. And Umesh has the details he will be sharing. That's called Project Life. Project Life is what? Light in fucked energy. Basically, we end up diminishing our light when we are fucked in a situation or there's a funk that is going on. And also we're having a body class in Ahmedabad, foundation class in Rajkot, 25th onwards this month. First, second, third is Ahmedabad body class. If you would like to join in, great. If not, if you can also come to Mumbai, 9th, 10th, 11th, Mumbai, we have a body class. And then that's it for now. I don't want to talk about the April classes because that'll be too much to kind of think in right now. That's a lot of information. So, but yeah, any thing that you would like to know about Project Life, you can contact me or Umesh. So thank you for being there. Thank you for being a lovely audience.
Thank you so much, Kavita. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kavita.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Lovely
You're
class.
welcome.
Enjoy. Thank you.
It's a gift call, not a class.
Amazing call. Amazing.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Bye bye.